Makati City is one of the local governments making sure vaccines for its constituents are free. Let's hear more about their plans from Makati Mayor Abby Binay. She joins us tonight on the program. Mayor Abby, thank you so much for joining us on the program. With the vaccine procurement centralized with the national government, can Makati choose which vaccine brands it wants?
Yes, you can. Because you will tell the central government what vaccine you want to procure. So, because there are several options, the IATF through Secretary Charlie, they're giving us the opportunity to procure our own vaccines, but we will piggyback with the order of the national government.
Okay.
So, for example, if the national government is going to procure 10 million doses of this brand for the national government initiative, I simply need to tell Sec Charlie, I will procure an additional 1 million doses of this brand on top of what you are already procuring.
So Mayor Abby, have you already done a survey among Makatizens which brand of vaccine or vaccines they prefer? For example, Navotas has already had its survey and the constituents prefer the Pfizer vaccine.
The first group of people that I actually inquired on the preference are the frontliners, the doctors. So
what did they tell you?
The doctors from Makati Med have already given me the instruction of their preference. So since they're doctors and I will rely on them, and whatever vaccine I push for, if they will not patronize it, even if it's free, they will not have themselves vaccinated.
So what is their preference, Mayor Abby?
The preference is 1 Pfizer, 2 is Janssen, 3 is AstraZeneca. Although Makati Med is also including Moderna in the list.
Okay, so basically they want the brands with the highest efficacy. But let's say, Mayor Abby, the government says we've already run out of these vaccines like Pfizer, Janssen, Moderna, and what we just have at the moment at our disposal are the vaccines that are 50 or 60% effective. I mean, the World Health Organization said this is sufficient, 50 to 60% effective.
I think because again, it is within our discretion whether we want to procure, then chances are we will not procure and we will
just wait it
simply
out.
Depend on the procurement coming from the national government. Then we'll see the reception. For example, the national government procures vaccines coming from China or Russia or a different brand, which is preferred, and if there is a openness or a willingness for our Makatizens to have themselves vaccinated using the available vaccine, then why not? We will purchase additional vaccines. But again, we will have to make a wait and see position on how receptive people will be for vaccines that are not Western produced.
So Mayor Abby, Makati setting aside 1 billion pesos for free COVID-19 vaccines. And if you take a look at the price range, it's about what, 600 pesos for Astra to 4,000 pesos for Moderna for 2 doses. If it's 600 pesos, that's about 1.6 million Makatizens. But if it's on the extreme end, which is 4,000 pesos, it will only immunize 250,000 residents. But in Makati, there are more than, what, 600,000 residents?
There are actually around 54,000 voters in Makati. So the target will be, we are hoping that we'll be able to procure 500,000 or maybe more sets. Okay, not just doses. So we want to inoculate 500,000 people, 500,000 Makatizens. Now, I have 1 billion for my drug subsidy, I have an additional 1 billion waiting on the side. So technically, I have 2 billion for drug subsidies. So kung magkulang yung 1B ko, meron pa naman akong pera. I still have savings. I still
Right.
have money. I don't need to take out a loan to be able to fund this vaccination program.
But Mayor, here's the question. As you mentioned, the priority of Makatizens and doctors and nurses in Makati are basically Pfizer, which has already been approved for emergency use in the United States and the UK, and of course Moderna. Is the Makati City government prepared for its storage facilities? Because Pfizer or Moderna require negative 20 to negative
correct.
70 facilities.
Yes. The IATF through Secretary Charlie have already studied the issues of storage. There is one, yung Zwelig has the storage facility. The nice thing about, I think this is not even an issue for NCR because we are in the NCR. Mobilization, logistics is faster. And that's also the reason why we are pushing for pre-registration because you've already pre-identified the people that you will vaccinate. You will need less period to store your vaccine because you already know more or less how many people you will vaccinate and where they are. So that's also the reason why they're requiring that you pre-identify your beneficiaries. It will be a bigger challenge for those that are in the provinces that do not have cold storage.
Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word, Makati Mayor Abby Binay.